Welcome to Real Estate with Corinne. I'm Corinne Kern, broker with Bighorn Real Estate in Billings, Montana. In today's video, I want to go over some of the most frequently asked questions that I get from my buyers. Whether this is your first time purchasing or you're a seasoned buyer, there's a lot of questions that come up during the process. So let's get started. One of the first questions that my buyers ask me is, who do they call when they want to see a property? And the answer would be me if they have chosen me to represent them as a buyer. Oftentimes buyers think that they have to call each individual agent that has properties listed, whoever's on the for sale sign in the front yard, when in fact, all they have to do is call the realtor that's representing them, and that realtor will set up a showing for any property that they want to see. So the next question that I usually get asked is, what is it going to cost me to purchase a property? And what I like buyers to know is that in the market that I currently work in here in Billings, Montana, and this is true for most of Montana, it is common for the seller to pay a commission to both the agent who has their home listed for sale, as well as an agent that is representing the buyer. So here we see that buyers do not have to pay their agent a commission. Now, above and beyond a commission, the cost that a buyer might incur would be their down payment. That's going to be the down payment required by a lender if financing is involved. And then any closing cost fees, and those are charged by both the lender and the title company. So depending on what your down payment is, that's going to be a variable amount. Sometimes we see down payments for certain loan programs as little as 0% down. Other times we see it as little as 3% down. There's also down payment assistance programs. And then for those closing costs, we can give an average estimate of about 3% of the home sale price. So the next question I get is, how long does it take to purchase a home? And that does vary a little bit. It does depend on how long it takes you to identify a property. But once you go under contract on a home, typically we see closing dates anywhere from 30 to 45 days. Now, with a timeline like that, that usually means that there is financing involved. And the timeline for you to complete your purchase is usually going to be based on the lender's turnaround times. Now, if you're a cash buyer, we do often see those close in as little as 10 days. Right now, with a busier market, we're seeing those close in about 15 to 20 days. The title company still has to do all of their title work. So sometimes we can see home purchases close very quickly. Sometimes we see them as far out as 30 to 45 days. In really crazy markets where lenders are backlogged, we can even see that time frame get pushed out to about 60 days. But that's always a varying time and something to talk with your agent about to make sure that that timeline works best for you. Some clarity that I like to provide to my buyers is on the difference between a home or property inspection and an appraisal. So an appraisal is actually a professional and unbiased opinion of the value of the property. Now, we typically see appraisals only a part of the process when there's financing involved. And that appraisal is typically ordered by the lender through either a third-party appraisal management company or through an independent appraiser. And that appraiser is going to give their opinion of value. That serves two purposes. It's one, going to ensure the lender that they are not giving you more money than what the property is worth. So for them, it's securing the collateral of them giving you a loan on that home. And then it's also ensuring that you, as the buyer and the consumer, are not overpaying for a property and that you are aware of what the market value is. Now, a home or property inspection is going to be a little bit different. That is there to serve for you as the buyer a way to inspect the dwelling and the property to ensure that you feel good and confident with the condition of the property. And it also gives you an opportunity to negotiate on repairs if something does come up that you do not feel satisfied with. So they are two separate inspections. Typically, we don't see the appraiser call out any property condition items unless it's a government-backed loan such as FHA or VA, and then they are particular about certain items. That's something that if you have any questions about that, you can always leave a comment below. So I'm definitely going over my most frequently asked questions, because another question that I always get asked is, when do I receive the keys? Now, this is something that I always go over with my clients in our buy-sell agreement here in Montana, because there are different ways to write this in. It can be different state by state and area by area, but for the market that I work in, typically, a buyer is going to receive the keys and be able to take possession of the property when the title company is in receipt of three things. It's in receipt of all the signed documents from the buyer, all the signed documents from the seller, and all of the funds from the buyer. Sometimes we see that a seller will require the property to also be on record, which means that title company has taken the new deed down to the county recorder's office. And then at that time, once it's been recorded and confirmed, then the buyer can take possession and get their keys. Well, I hope you found that helpful. And if you have any additional questions about the purchasing process, feel free to leave a comment below. Or I've also included my contact information in the description box, and you're more than welcome to reach out to me personally. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, as I have new videos every Tuesday going over real estate tips and tricks, as well as information about purchasing or selling in Montana. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.